I have a lot of books, as you can see. I feel like I've been getting through slightly less books recently, like my pace slowed a little bit. I think that's partly because I was reading like heavier topic, or just you had to think a bit more to take it in. For the rest of the month, I'm only gonna reread books because I don't do that enough. I'm gonna start with this book, The Hunger Games. I can't really remember reading it. I know I have read it, but I also haven't ever read this copy because I got it from a charity shop and I just haven't reread it yet. My theory is my reading pace will be a lot quicker because I don't have to pay quite as much focused attention all the time because I know what's gonna happen. I was right. It's the next day. Yeah, this is the second day of reading. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna finish it tonight. We're 306 pages out of 435. Do you know the first thing, which I didn't even realise was different? I like opened it, start reading and went, the text is so big. The text feels huge. It's definitely simpler writing. That sounds like I'm taking a dig. I'm not. I really enjoy where actually you have to think about what it's saying and read between the lines, and it's lyrical, and then like it's not just narrative. I really enjoy that exploration, but because this is just narrative, I just go through it like so quick. And obviously I know what's going on. Cute moments that aren't in the film. Always the case, always love it. I've been rubbish at filming me reading this. I read it on the train to and from work today, and then I got shy / wouldn't have been able to prop my phone up because I'd forgotten my camera, etc. But I'm trying. I'm sort of out of the vlogging habit, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've been away. There's been colds, there's been busyness, there's been yeah. Anyway, sidetrack. We're enjoying it. We're speeding through it. It's fun rereading. Who is it? The woman, Donna Tartt? I was watching an interview with Donna, I'm sure it was Donna Tartt. I think there was something else I was reading, and they were talking about they have like a handful of books that they just go back and reread, and they want to know one book well rather than lots of different books. And I like kind of get it, but I also like reading lots of different books. In other news, I did buy some new books. I had a Waterstones book voucher, so I bought 3 books and I only paid £1.35. Bargain. You made a fool of death with your beauty, which I'm gutted. This has been on my list for a little while, and the other cover was stunning. It was this hand like holding a necklace. Oh, it is so beautiful, and I'm actually annoyed with myself that I didn't buy it sooner because they've now changed the cover. Sad times. This was a book I've seen places and it was sort of on the periphery. And then I read the blurb and I was like, actually that sounds quite funny, I want to read that. The Satsuma Complex. I watched Jack Edwards and this is like one of his top books. Small things like these. We are doing a month of rereading. When I move, these are going to be my little treat to take with me. We are currently in the cave, so we're at a good point. Finished the first one and then I was struggling to sleep, so I actually started the second one. Read some more this morning, so we are now 246 pages in out of 439, so we're over halfway. It's so quick, it's so easy to get through. They're not even in the arena yet. You forget how much happens before. I'm gonna do some Sunday afternoon reading and finish this off. It matches my dress, that's making me happy.
Uptown on the road, I've been around the floor, rooftops, sliding doors. Just wanna know you more. I hope you wanna be with somebody, spending all of the night moonwalking, and with the view she could see her building. Try to tell her I know I feel it. Keep me floating, I'm on my back. Slow me down when I'm living fast.
2 down, 1 to go. We skipped today. It's Tuesday. I finished Mockingjay, but I just felt like it was getting a bit repetitive. Reading the Hunger Games trilogy. It was fun. I always struggle with Mockingjay the most. I don't know why. Enjoyed it. Picked out a few moments I don't really remember from previous reads, so that's always fun. I'm gonna read one that I actually have read fairly recently next, Better Than the Movies. I'm also going book shopping.
You make me wanna be with somebody, doing things that I usually don't. Find my way through the hotel lobby, make the same when I'm on my own. All my friends think I'm with somebody, doing things that I usually don't.
The time has come for a book haul. It's a new independent bookshop in our local town called The Bookends. We had quite a chat with the guy who runs it. It's him and his wife. It's so cute in there. They're so friendly and nice. 10 out of 10, recommend. So first is one that I've seen in a lot of places, but I've never seen this cover, and I saw it and I just couldn't risk never seeing it again either. All the light we cannot see. How gorgeous. This isn't the only cover I've ever seen of it. And it's not bad, but this cover is just gorgeous. I saw it on the shelf and then I read the blurb and I was like, actually that sounds funny, and that is romantic comedy. Very happy with these. They will be going with me when I move. I'm gonna read a little bit more of this.
And it's the end of the night, feel like you're dodging my eye. But then you're right by my side, tell me it's all in my mind.
We finished Better Than the Movies. I absolutely loved it just as much as the first time. I would really want to play Liz if this ever was made into a film. I started a trilogy that I read last year, so it's been a bit longer. Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I inhaled these the first time. Literally read all 3 in 3 days. And I am loving it again. I'm now on page 345. So I have this much left. So I'm gonna finish it today. I know it because I'm so hooked again. And it's so fun. I sort of remember what happens. Like, I remember some of the big bits, so there's little hints that I didn't necessarily pick up on the first time that I'm like, that's pointing to what's going to happen, but you only know if you know. The first read of this is incredible because you don't know what's going on. The second read is almost even better because you know what's coming, so you can appreciate more in the structure and some of the earlier bits. I am absolutely loving this. And Pip is another part that I would have loved to play. I saw on Instagram that they're already making this into a TV show. I'm excited to watch it if it actually is. I'm gonna finish this today. I'm gonna actually film and vlog and then read the other 2 in this trilogy.
All my friends think I'm with somebody, doing things that I usually don't. Find my way through the hotel lobby, ain't the same when I'm on my own.
We are on book 2 and I'm realising I really don't remember this one at all. But I'm loving it because you get the little bit of romance subplot that's just like tiny little hints. Don't hate me, but we finished book 2 and then have read and finished book 3 as well. I forgot how intense this one gets. Still enjoy the series. It's just, if you've read this, you know what I mean. It's very intense. I like remembered what happened between Pip and Ravi, but then I forgot the last page. That made me happy. I've been watching The Somewhere I Turn Pretty. Well, it finished last week and I'm very sad because I am definitely Team Conrad. But anyway, it has low-key made me want to reread To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I'm actually gonna reread this book, which I read quite recently, and I know I loved it and like vaguely remember some of it, but I don't vividly remember it. So then I'm going away for the weekend and I have an idea about which book I want to take to reread there, and then we'll do the To All the Boys. This is actually so fun, like getting to relive books and remember bits that you'd forgotten, or like pick up on little hints you didn't see the first time. And it means I'm now like so ready when September hits to read some new stuff again. Like my brain is just back in the zone and ready for it. So I recommend. I am going to do some Duolingo and then start this book and go to bed. And I will see you tomorrow, and I will get better at actually vlogging, reading it. Good night. I love this book. I love this book. I feel like I didn't realise how much I loved it the first time I read it. Like, I really, really enjoyed it and I rated it highly. There's just something about the way they write their relationship growing up that's so pure and beautiful without it being childish. They somehow got that balance. The way they write it is so beautiful. Man, Friends to Lovers isn't normally my kind of thing, but when it's written like this, and Elliot, I mean, come on. Basically, I'm really enjoying this book, and it's as unputdownable the second time, even though I, like, know why they separate it, because basically it flashes between present day and the past, and you don't know why they haven't spoke to each other for so long, blah blah blah. There's something really special about rereading. It's like when you have a comfort movie or something. Like, I just keep coming back to that quote of being familiar with one book rather than having read lots of books. I'm not saying it right, but as much as I love reading the new books and exploring the new things, I think I want to be a lot more balanced at also the books I find that I enjoy and connect with, actually reading them again and sort of exploring deeper, why do I connect with and enjoy this and what can I learn? That's getting really deep. I'm basically halfway. Oops. This is what I mean by, like, I can't put it down even though I know the main gist of what happens. Like, I can't remember the details. I started it last night and I've read 200 pages. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna make my lunch and then read this while I eat it, because I've said make lunch. Really, that was just heating up leftover pizza from yesterday, but it tastes good.
Hypnotized, I don't know why she got me feeling this way. She's got a way about her. She's got a way about her.
I totally didn't expect this. I'm about to finish it for sure. I love when a book feels like this. It's just so good. I can't put it down. And I know what happens. That's the crazy thing.
The whole world stopped for her, but she couldn't get. She got me dancing through the streets like I'm Fred Astaire. Got me dizzy, head is spinning when she comes around. She's got a way about her. She's got a way about her. Yeah, she's the only thing that keeps me in this lonely town. She's got a way about her. She's got a way about her. Yeah, she doesn't know that she's got a hole. She's got that certain kind of gravity.
I really enjoyed this. I feel like I didn't actually read this the whole way through before. I definitely started reading it. I don't know why I didn't finish it, because it's really, really good and he writes it so well that it's really accessible even years later. I would tell everyone to read this at some point in their life. I'm going to read a short story collection next. Read this. Don't hate me, but I did read a whole book off camera. I did start reading this book again. Remembered I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't what I expected when I bought it. I feel like it would be really interesting to study. Like, this is one I would want to do in an English class and just dissect a little bit in terms of just enjoying reading it. It isn't up there for me. I didn't film yesterday because I just felt so rough. I did read the entire of the first To All the Boys book. I'm slightly disappointed. I had it in my brain that I enjoyed reading these. I think it's purely plot most of the time, which is fine, and it means they're really quick and light to read, and it's not that I'm not enjoying it. I just, like, started it and was like, I wish the recital party was in the film. The whole Kitty wanting a puppy is quite cute, and then the fact that this ends with them still broken up, and I kind of like it. The film is a comfort film for me, and I think they did a really good job with the first film, so I wouldn't want to change the film. But I was thinking in my brain, I was like, what would it have been like if they ended it how this book ended? It's just a question in my brain. I think it was just a realization that I've grown up. I'm enjoying it and I'm getting through it, and it's really nice, like, easy read, which I need, but it was also a little bit disappointing. I started the second one today. but I didn't want to read too much of it without vlogging because all I remember is there's this like game of tag that isn't included in the films, and I was sad it wasn't included in the films, but I can't really remember the specifics. I've read a few chapters and then I was like, I need to get back on the vlog before I read any more so I can get my reaction as I remember it. We are on chapter 8, which is page 68, and we have vegan ice cream. I'm ready. I remember something I was going to say about the first book is they did a really great job in the films of adjusting Lara Jean's character, because there was sometimes I was reading it and I was like, she's being a little bit problematic. Like, she was kind of annoying me a little bit at really odd points. There were just a few moments where she'd almost overreact over something or just be like a little bit problematic. The whole video thing is so much more intense. But yeah, this is like so much more intense and awful in the book. He comes through her window and they didn't put it in the film. This scene would have been so cute. Chapter 10, guys. Chapter 10. We got to chapter 27, page 155. I'm going to stop and then catch up with a friend. I will read a bunch more tonight. And we haven't got to them playing tag yet. I'm sure that's this book, which I kind of wanted to get a reaction to, but give it to you after, I guess.
Falling to pieces in my room. Are you coming over? That's cool. I could use a little something to do. We could go outside, take a little ride if you want to. That's cool. I did what I was supposed to. There's nothing left for me to do. So now I'm walking out my head through open windows. Cause that's what I feel like.
I'm just gonna emphasize that this is not a normal number of books for me to read in 1 month. This is a big stack. I'm actually a little bit shocked. I'm not sure I expected to get through this many. I would say I had fun. I recommend rereading some of your books. What else did I learn? Most of these I enjoyed as much as the first time, or possibly even more. Apart from, and I'm a little bit sad about this, the To All the Boys books. I think I might have outgrown them. I didn't not enjoy them. It made me realise how long it's been since I last read them. But the movies are still cool, so at least you get that. I realised I haven't really updated you, so I finished... That's not the last one. I finished the last one yesterday in the car. We went to Wrexham for the day. There's some really cute moments between them in this one. Peter in the book is a lot more smitten and a lot more romantic than Peter in the films. And also the tag game of assassins in the second book wasn't as much of a plot point as I thought, but I still wish they put it in the films. That was an interesting experience rereading these. This chunk, so better than the movies, Good Girls Guide to Murder trilogy, Love in Other Words, and Mere Christianity, I really enjoyed. And it was like a 5-star experience to reread them, to be honest. Disappointed by what we talk about when we talk about love. The Hunger Games were just... It was fun to read because it's been so long since I read them. And again, there's so much more detail in the books. I reread 13 books. Adding on to Norwegian Wood at the start of the month means I read 14 books in the last month. I will be rereading books more often. I'm now thinking through my brain like which are the books I want to reread. I definitely want to revisit The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. The Mountains Sing. That's one of my top ones. Lessons in Chemistry. That book was so good. If We Were Villains. Going back through that would be so interesting. Now I know the ending. Comment below any books you're rereading. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And I will see you on the flip side.